Hello, hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and I hope you have absolutely wonderful day. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful card using a free gift from Creative Stamping Magazine issue 107. In the magazine, you can find lots of beautiful ideas and projects to try, but it also comes with a free stamp set collection called French Chic and also embossing folder. For my project today, I'm going to use 300 GSM white stamping card because it is really good quality card which you can use for a variety of techniques. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. First, I decided to use one of the stamps and I'm going to create a background with it. Just one stamp which you can use for creating patterns and lots of beautiful elements. Before I do any stamping, I'm going to use 3 distress oxide inks in Kitsch Flamingo, Broken China, and Wilted Violet. And using my ink blending tools, I'm going to create a background. And I wonder, what is your preferred color palette for ink blending for backgrounds? Please let me know in the comments down below, because this is my go-to when it comes to backgrounds, because you can never ever go wrong with those 3 colors together. They really give you nice variety, and literally that's exactly what I love about these colors. So I've got a little bit of pink, turquoise, and purple. My favorite color combo when it comes to backgrounds. When this is ready, I need to make sure that my card is completely dry before I move on to any stamping. And as you can see, I put a little bit of ink on my glass mat and then I can pick it up if I need a little bit more color. Now I'm going to heat set it with my heat tool, and this way I'll make sure that my background is completely dry. And to actually check if it is dry, I'm going to use embossing powder, and if it sticks to my background, it means it's not ready yet. And yes, it did stick to one of those spots, so I'm going to heat set the whole background again and make sure it is completely dry before I move on to any stamping. Now I'm going to use clear ink and clear embossing powder, and this way you're going to preserve the color in the background and it will have very nice subtle shine. I'm going to use anti-static bag just to make sure we don't have any fingerprints on our background, and using Versamark ink, which is clear, transparent and sticky ink, I'm going to stamp that image a couple of times to create a really nice patterned background. And I wonder, how often do you actually use one stamp to create your backgrounds? Please let me know in the comments down below. Now I'm going to use Wow Clear Gloss Embossing Powder, and it is perfect for literally any background and stamping. And what I really like about this clear embossing powder, first, you can preserve the color in the background, or instead of Versamark ink, you can actually use pigment inks for different color effects. And if you have never tried that with clear embossing powder, I really hope I will encourage you and you will do it after that video. So now I'm stamping my image a couple of more times because I did have some space on my background and I really wanted to make sure that it's filled enough for very nice interest and just pattern. So now I'm going to stamp it a couple of times on the sides, at the top, at the bottom, and when it's ready, we're going to use that clear gloss embossing powder by Wow and heat set it. And this way we're going to have that really nice subtle shine on those elements. Probably it is very tricky to see it in the video at the moment, but I will show you a trick how to make sure that it actually pops on your background. It's super simple to fix, and I think you will really love that technique. So now, when these elements are ready, they do shine beautifully. I absolutely love that way. Now, I'm going to use 3 other Distress Oxide inks in the same color palette, but slightly darker. And I've got picked raspberry, prize ribbon, and Villainous potion. And again, all the names of the products I use in today's video are in the description down below. So yes, you can check them out if you want. And as you can see, with the same color, I'm going over my background. So for example, when I had that light pink Kitsch Flamingo, I'm going over with picked raspberry. And also, I'm going over our embossed images. And this way, they will pop even more because I'm going to use a piece of cloth to get the excess of the ink from those heat embossed elements. Probably it is very confusing at the moment, but when you see it, it really makes sense and it is seriously stunning in real life. And I really encourage you to use your glass mat as your palette. So as you can see, our background is nearly done. Now I'm going to use a cloth and those elements really pop. I absolutely love it. Do you like that color palette? Please let me know in the comments down below. Now it is time to stamp some of the other elements for extra interest. And I decided to use those beautiful shoes, purse, and also a dress. That dress is just so beautiful. I absolutely love it. Now I'm going to use actually the scrap piece of card I use for my background. Again, it is 300 GSM white stamping card, and I'm going to use black waterproof ink because I'm going to use zig markers, which are watercolor markers, and I really want to make sure that my black outline doesn't bleed. And whenever you use waterproof ink pad and zig markers or watercolor markers, you'll have really beautiful clear images, and I really encourage you to try it. Now you can see I'm actually going to use just 3 zig markers, exactly in the same color palette as my background. And this way I'll make sure that all my elements match beautifully and they are color coordinated. As you can see, I put a little bit of zig marker on my image, and then using my wet paintbrush I'm spreading the color around. It is super simple, very quick, and you really get that beautiful watercolor look. And that's exactly what I was after when I was painting in those elements. And if you have never ever tried watercolor markers or watercolor pencils, please do it, because you will be amazed how beautiful it is. However, very big tip for you, you really have to use good quality card. The best one is watercolor card. However, very good stamping card works well as well. As you can see here, the images are very beautiful when literally everything dries. And you can also use your glass mat as a palette. So I usually pick up some of the colors from my mat with a wet paintbrush. It is very easy and these looks are just so beautiful. And when these elements are ready and all are colored in, I'm going to use my scissors to fussy cut them. And to be honest, you don't really need any cutting dies because those images are very easy to cut. Now, these elements are ready, but we're still missing one thing. So I've got my card base and this one is 6 by 6 inches. But before I put my background panel, I thought something is missing. So I decided to use a piece of ribbon from my stash. I had it for many years now and I always wanted to use it, but I've never created a project that actually that ribbon would work very well with it. And this one with Kitsch Flamingo and picked raspberry distress oxide inks, I thought today is the day. I was just so excited to use that ribbon on my background. So this is ready. I'm going to place all my elements and see how much space I've got left to put my sentiment. And in the stamp set collection, you have that beautiful happy birthday wishes sentiment, which I'm going to use. And again, I'm going to use the same waterproof black ink because it always gives me that nice crisp letters whenever I stamp any sentiment, and I absolutely love it. To make sure that everything matches beautifully, I'm going to use the same 3 distress oxide inks, and I'm going to create a background panel for my sentiment. As you can see, I left some white space in the middle. It doesn't really matter because it will be covered in the end. I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, to put those elements together. And using my longer scissors, I'm just going to cut it. And I do have that nice straight lines. For some of the elements, I decided to use a double-sided foam adhesive, especially the sentiment, because I really wanted to stand out on my card. Also, the purse and the dress. And this way, you will make sure that some of the elements stand out, but you will give your project more interest and variation. And I really encourage you to do exactly the same whenever you create your project. And I actually wonder, have you got your creative stamping magazine issue 107? If you have, what did you create with your free stamp set collection? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I absolutely love seeing what other crafters create with the same stamp sets, cutting dies, or embossing folders, because we are all artists. However, we see all the things in a little bit different way, and that's amazing when we share our makes. And they are all beautiful, but they're so different. So if you have used that French Chic stamp set collection, please let me know what did you make in the comments down below. Now it is time to add a few gold gems, and our project is complete. I really wonder, what do you think about this? Have you ever tried that heat embossing technique with ink blending? Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, because every Monday and Thursday I've got videos on my channel. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!